absolutely play first. And I have a turn 3 win, so maybe I should stream more often. Is it strange call to the void when you have a perfect hand that just like you want to hit the mulligan button? I don't know. I don't know what that is. I'd love to have Liliana the Veil in this deck. Temple of Mystery. Amulet? Whir? I don't know what I'm up against here. Help me out, chat. I think this is an Amulet deck to put a card on top. Hand got even better. Yeah, this is definitely, this has got to be Amulet, right? Infect? Maybe. No, this has got to be Bloom, Amulet Bloom. Okay, well, they're dead. I'll just drop the Duskwatch Recruiter, see if they can see to that, and I'll keep making mana. Okay. Sideboarding here. Let me pull up my sideboard guide. Sideboard guide. So in the Modern Creature Toolbox Discord, I have a link to my Google Doc right here. We're up against Amulet Titan. It may not look like it, but I'm 95% sure. If I'm wrong, let me know. I always love knowing when I'm wrong. So I like to cut Rallier, in this case, the Eternal Witness, Skooz, Company, another Eternal Witness, bring in some removal spells, and maybe a Knight of Autumn. So these would be the cards that I would be somewhat interested in bringing in. Scavenging Ooze does nothing because there's no bolt-like effects that I'm looking for. Eternal Witness and Company aren't as valuable since they aren't grinding with me, and I'd rather have Cord in a matchup where I want to go fast. I don't really see the need for Shalai here, so I think I'm just going to straight up cut her. And this is the Hive Mind. I think it's a Hive Mind variant of Amulet, so I got to be a little bit careful of that. Let the clicks commence? Yeah. Okay, I'll see you in a bit, Kevin. Yep, if it is Ad Nauseam Sin Collector, but Ad Nauseam doesn't run Engineered Explosives main, right? I don't think they run that main. So I think I'll do this. I still have all my combo pieces. All I cut was 2 Eternal Witnesses and Company, and I'm bringing in some July, and I'm bringing in spot removal, which you can hit a Titan, and if they are Ad Nauseam, well, I still have these in there too. Yeah. Yeah, Ad Nauseam runs a lot of the same pieces that we're looking at here. I feel like, what's our opponent's name? ZX Rogue. I'm not familiar with them, but I feel like this is the version of Amulet Titan that recently won the Modern Challenge from Punt Then Wine. He won the Modern Challenge, and it runs the Bloom, a couple of the green-blue Scry lands. That deck it has more of a more consistent turn 4 win. This hand's fine. I just need a Cord or a Vizier in the hand can win on turn 3. This is not a deck I want to try to outgrind. I just want to be extremely fast against them, and I do want a little bit of redundancy if I can. They are going to be forced to respond to me because my deck is faster than theirs. Amulet can turn 2 win, but it's extremely rare. I think I have like 150 matches in with Amulet, and I think I've turned 2 twice. Oh, that's pretty cool. ZX Rogue streaming. Yep, so we've seen Tolaria West, Engineer Explosives. I'm positive this is Amulet Titan here. So this time, because they're in the play, a turn 2 Engineered Explosives would be relevant. They aren't doing that though, so we got the Court of Calling, so we're good to go. As long as Devoted Druid lives. Okay. 2. All right. Well, good game, opponent. This is just like, I mean, this opponent, we're going to give them like PTSD here, huh? And I'll do the same thing. I'll just play the Duskwatch Recruiter just to show that I can get Ballista and then go off. Man, this is a good start to a league, starting with starting right away, 2 turn 3 wins. That's fast. Good game, opponent. They're just drawing some cards right now. I mean, they had to mulligan there because they're digging for interaction because this is what they're afraid of. This is why I think Devoted Druid is such a good matchup against Amulet here. Okay, let's go again. Let me just update my spreadsheet. So I have a spreadsheet here which keeps track of win-loss rates. You can see how many matches I've been recording, what type of league it is. And that's always good. So I can show this guys to you later if you're interested. I'll be publishing once I get to probably 300 again. Just as a check back what matchups I've been winning against, what I've been losing against, why I feel that way, and whether or not that's consistent with the rest of the matches. Supporting what opinion about Devoted Druid? Super Saiyan. I can't keep this. No lands. Infinite mana, just need a win condition. And we're on the draw here, so whatever I scry, I will be drawing. So let's scry into a Ballista. D. Frank, probably on Green-Black Rock. That's KO Diamond's favorite deck. Best possible draw in a matchup like this is probably going to be Collected Company in Eternal Witness. Game 1, we're a little unfavored. Once we go a little bit further, we actually get favored here. So they're holding up mana for Abrupt Decay. I'm not really sure. Okay, just Fatal Push. So it signifies to me that they do not have Goyf or Bob in hand, otherwise they would have just played them. Or they're afraid of the Turbo deck version, which will just win just from tapping out. So there's no reason not to play Vizier here, except maybe getting eaten by a Liliana, but there's not much. I just have to plow through their spot removal here. Yeah, Chris. The deck can feel pretty unfair. Like that, what I did to my opponent there, he had a EE on 2, and it just wasn't enough. He played on Azusa, ramped a Valiant, and it just wasn't enough. So yeah, from that perspective, it's super unfair. But if my opponent had any removal spell, like a lightning bolt, fatal push, and anything at all, just even a Thoughtseize would have disrupted me there. Why are they Field of Ruining a land that's not Gavany Township here? That feels strange to me. No, I think I always got to play. Yeah, Doom Train is a. I think it's a Final Fantasy. Yeah, 8. Final Fantasy 8 reference. It's not. It's Phantom Train. So it is the Phantom Train. Let's see. Liliana the Veil is not good for me. So I knew that they had removal, but I think it's still correct to play the Druid first. If I play the Vizier first, they wouldn't have to use their removal right there because a 2/1 body that doesn't do anything isn't very threatening to them. This is a matchup where, like I was starting to say, before sideboarding, I don't think I'm favored at all. Post-board, I think I am. I think I just take the 4 here, go to 12, go to 11 off of the company. I'll be discarding... In response, maybe them playing Lily, I will choose what to discard. That seems fair. I don't think it's worth maybe getting in... Like, my biggest creature is a Kitchen Finks. Am I going to block right here with Kitchen Finks? I don't think I will. I think blocking with Kitchen Finks there would just put them in a situation where if they have a Liliana Last Hope, I could get really, really wrecked. And Infinite Life is a thing here. It's I'm going to be able to hit that more than I'm going to be able to hit the Devoted Druid. So they choose not to play with Liliana the Veil. They have 2 cards in hand. One is a Veil. If the other is a removal spell, then I shouldn't take the Druid. So if I go Druid, Eternal Witness, then, and they have the removal spell, I'm not going to just win right then. But I think I'm supposed to try here. No matter what I'm taking the Eternal Witness, it's buying back this company. And the argument then is, do I go for Druid or Finks? I think I'm going to go for Druid, make them use that removal spell, and then be able to land a Duskwatch Recruiter or just another Coco. If they don't have a removal spell, because they've already played 2 pushes, and we know they only have 1 card in hand that's not Liliana, then I just win the game. Okay. So a little bit slower here. I'm not going to be able to combo win in the future matches here, but against Black-Green X. But I am plowing through combo wins right here, which makes the deck look like it's a lot harder than the deck actually is. So I need a 24/24 Ballista. Sorry, I need 24 mana to make a 12/12 Ballista. Okay. Yeah, Chris, this deck is looking, so far in this league, this deck is looking like it needs to be banned. It's been absolutely outstanding. We turned 3 Amulet twice. We just had a combo win through Disruption there. Let's pull up the sideboard guide. Against Jund. It's the same for all the Black-Green decks. I'm going to take out Cord, Druid, Vizier, Noble, bring in removal spells, Sin Collector, maybe a Knight of Autumn, Gideon Skoos. The big thing we have to do is remember to kill Skoos over Goyf, because Skoos shuts down our 2-for-1s, it shuts down Eternal Witness, it shuts down Kitchen Finks, and it stops, well, just shutting down those 8 cards right there is shutting down half of our 2-for-1s. So it's kind of like Splinter Twin in the sense that it's the creature combo, but a big thing is that this deck, the Druid combo is you have a whole turn to respond to it, and if I cord in Druid at your end step or something, then then it can feel much more like Splinter Twin. But a big reason why Splinter Twin is so powerful was that it forced you to hold up mana. And this deck doesn't really do that. It doesn't force anyone to hold up mana for after the first few turns. I mean, he held up mana and he didn't have anything. I just had to go for it. But it doesn't operate the same way, in my opinion. I get that. I mean, they both are combos that can feel pretty unfair if you have a hand or a deck that doesn't have much removal in it. I want to cut 2 Druid. I cut a Noble instead of a Bird here, simply because I feel like the Exalted trigger is not as relevant as the flying with Gavney Township. I think in this matchup, I think I want extra removal, to be honest. So I'll cut. I think I'll go like that. So I don't have much combo in here at all. I'm all grind. And Ballista is something I consider, but I'll keep him in. He's not bad on his own. He's very good at picking off weak Liliana, which sometimes Liliana is one of the few cards that can just take over the game against me. The life gain combo is also a little more unfair, because that can happen at instant speed. So I have 2 removal spells, so I can stop their Scavenging Ooze from taking over the game. I think this is a keep. If they spend removal spells on my mana dorks, I'm going to be way ahead in this matchup. Unless I fail to draw any more lands, then I'm stuck at 1 land for the entire game. But that shouldn't happen too often. Play the card they know about. Them taking Noble Hierarch means their intention here is to cut me off of mana. I don't think that's necessarily the correct play. I don't really like that line in general. Oh, Overgrown Tomb. I think I have to get the Temple Garden so I have access to Path. Yeah, they're going the full mana denial plan right here. Bird does change it. They have 3 cards in hand. They already played. They pitched a Tracker. I think I actually want to play Skoos here. If I get to untap with Skoos, I'll be much better off than untapping with just the Bird. It also spends my mana better this turn. Playing Bird would let me get a much better top deck, where if I top decked a Collected Company, I would have a better chance of casting it in the future, but I'm straight up just offering a trade here. I actually want the trade, which is why I played the Bird first. Our opponent is light on land. It's their 4th turn. They skipped a land drop last turn, so them having Liliana in hand is very nice for me. I feel like they're going to take the Decay, which can answer the Liliana. It's one of the best cards they have against me. I think my plan here is to play Kitchen Finks. I don't want to path the Dark Confidant. Beats. Do you guys think I should make this a 4/4 and this hold the path, or I can make this a 4/4 path the Dark Confidant, put them in 11. Or I can just play Kitchen Finks and then the following turn. I really just don't want to path Dark Confidant and give them that Liliana. But if they draw 2 cards, they have a decent chance of just getting a land anyway. I think I really want the Kitchen Finks in play. I don't know if it's right, but let me know if I'm wrong. Not a land. Not a land. Oh, they got the land, so the Bird is dead. Which means I'm going to be cut off mana for a bit. That is true. I can straight up kill Lily with the path. Yep. So I think what you're saying, Chris, is if they kill the Bird, which is the best possible play they have here, which they didn't do. Oh, I guess that is a probably better line. Now path the Dark Confidant, play the Bird here, and yeah, so I can. Either way, Lily's dead. And as long as both my birds live, I have a Gideon next turn. Ooh. That hurt. That was kind of rough there. Kind of walked right into a board wipe right there. Yeah. Well, this isn't going well. That was a really, really good top deck for our opponent. Scavenging Ooze is one of the, between the Languish and the Scavenging Ooze, I think we're pretty much dead here. Ironically, if we looked back, I think the better line now, we knew that they had the Languish, would be just to make that Scavenging Ooze huge and not play the Fangs. And then I could have a 5/5 kitchen Scavenging Ooze in play right here, instead of a 2/1 Kitchen Fangs. My best possible top deck is basic Swamp into basic Forest. Then I can play Sin Collector into Gideon. So they have a treetop, so even if I attack with Kitchen Fangs, I think I'm just not going to block. It's just 9 life here. I think I can just take it, see what I draw into. Now my best possible draw is basic Swamp into Temple Garden, or maybe a Razor Verge Thicket, play the Fangs, and ignore the Sin Collector. So Razor Verge Thicket into basic Forest or Swamp. One, 2 creatures left. They were smart. They held up just like I thought they would. The treetop. Yeah, I'm not winning this one. So I didn't see any reason for Knight of Autumn. Yeah, that's definitely next game. That Languish knocking us off. That Languish killing the birds was more important than the Languish killing the Skoos and the half of the Finks. I just couldn't recover from the mana loss there. So the real question is, do I want this Knight of Autumn and do I want this Walking Ballista? Yeah, Languish is interesting. It does wipe most of my board. It doesn't always wipe Tarmogoyf. I actually like Languish a lot in Green-Black Rock. I think I want to actually try this. Which means if I generate infinite mana, I do not have a win condition with Ballista, which is fine. I will just play my entire board out and pray I don't get Damnation. I'll play first, and I will keep this. Scavenging Ooze is a great card in this matchup. It's a little bit better later on, but knowing I have access to 4 mana, which is where all my good spells are, when I was landlocked last game, makes me a little bit happier. I will play the Verdant. Gonna get an Overgrown Tomb here. This Skoos is kind of just sacrificial fodder here. You don't think that's a good keep? You wouldn't have kept that? This is, I feel like a weird thing I've learned about Abzan Company is opponents always mulligan to high removal hands, or they prioritize having it because they're so afraid of the combo. I think the combo is wonderful game 1, and then game 2 and 3, you can see I don't even have the Ballista in here right now. So I'm just actually trying to my whole game plan here is just to outgrind my opponent. So I'll be eating the Inquisition and getting a Temple Garden. I could always get a basic Plains and path something if I feel the need. Last Hope. Okay. I think attacking her while I still can is more important. And next turn I have Gavney Township online, which is pretty sweet. Yeah, well, I figured that first SKU is just going to die, but oddly enough, he's still alive, and they just had the Inquisition instead of the Thoughtseize. I think they're leaning hard on this Liliana here. And the nice thing is, Shalai really shuts down a lot of their removal. Granted, they have the Field of Ruins, so if they do have a Fatal Push, they can fetch the basic Swamp Crack and then Shalai me. They minused, flipped a Blooming Marsh and a Trophy, so they're just digging for some value out of her. Yep, Township's gone. Get a basic Forest, which means I'm now going to eat something with SKUs. Opponent's at 14. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana, or I'll already have 6 mana next turn to activate this ability if I don't play the Noble. If they have another Languish, I think I'm in trouble here. Network error. Yeah, I'm not sure what that is. It's saying it in the chat, or is it just saying it in general? I figured there'd be a few hiccups with the first stream, but I think I'll hold up the mana. What does a network error actually say? Or not? No, I mean, I see your chat here, Chris. Ooh. Man, Shalai is so good against Liliana, the Last Hope. Okay, so they got a Scavenging Ooze. And they can play it. But we do have the Path. And they're not playing it, so I will just start eating things that make Tarmogoyf big. I can Eternal Witness a Gavney Township here, but I think I think it's better off, I'm better off to save the Eternal Witness to rebuy Path. Buffering Cycle of Death. I don't know. Do you think it's your internet, or do you think that's Twitch, or do you think it's me? Just let me know. If there's something I can fix on my end, I will absolutely do that. So there's the SKUs we know about. We have our opponent on a 2-turn clock just in the air. I might just take that. Because we're 1 mana short of winning, right? Because I actually didn't play this Noble Hierarch, so I can't Path and Pump. Error network number 2000. I'm just reading up on that 2000. Refresh the stream. Clear your browser's cache. That's what it says on that. You're good? All right. So I think the line here is just attack with Scoos and Shalai. Make them chump block with the Scoos if they want to. See what they do from there. This is what I love about the deck, and I'm glad to be able to showcase it here. I know the Amulet match was kind of a beating for Amulet. We just crushed him really fast. But here, what I really like about it is we're outgrinding green-black rock right now. And if it wasn't for that Languish game too, I think we had him on the. I think we had him. And if I had 2 more lands in play instead of 2 dorks there, I think we would have been able to take over that game too, just being able to drop Gideon after a board wipe. Scream goes black. Okay. Okay, they're eating my value lands. Opponent has 3 cards in hand, one of them which they just drew. We know they don't have Fatal Push, because if they had Fatal Push, they would have killed Shalai. So we win. Jump to the next one. Update the sideboard, update the tracker. Green, black, rock, in 3. Did I miss a follow? I definitely missed a follow. It didn't alert me on my end. Absolutely play first. Oh no, we're playing Susurus. One of the best players, one of the best players out there. Okay, so I think they've been on that new Whir deck. And this hand is not keepable. I'm tempted to keep this. Only because I think my opponent's playing the Whir deck, and Walking Ballista is really good here. But this hand just doesn't do anything. I'll keep this. I don't think Infinite Life beats the Whir deck, so I'll actually just bottom that. Doesn't matter, I'm fetching anyway. Alright, this is like the boss fight of the night. Yep, the Whir deck. This is a really good deck that we're playing against, and we're playing against the best player of said deck. You gonna mulligan the 4, or were you talking about the 7? Yeah. If this Vizier was a Devoted Druid, this hand would have been phenomenal. And Duskwatch can dig me to the walking ballista that I need. They're going to drop a bridge at some point. Chalice on 1 shuts down my mana dorks. Okay. Knowing that I don't have access to mana dorks for the rest of the game, I'm actually going to play Eternal Witness, buying back a land, so I can get to 4 mana a little differently. Also puts an extra body in play to help beat my opponent a little bit faster. One more artifact and I'll start gaining a life a turn. This deck, their beatdowns is very generic. It's very, very slow beatdowns. My biggest creature is a 3/2. Yeah, that 6 was intriguing, especially knowing what deck we're playing against. Engineered explosives on 2 would be pretty rough. I have a ore on 1. I have a bird out. I'm actually not going to show him that I have black yet. Let's take the ballista. I think I'll just play Vizier out here. Oh, I didn't need to float the extra mana because I have him flipped. I always forget about that. Swing for 5, my opponent at 13. And the next turn, if I draw a land, I have a 3/3 ballista, which will clock them pretty quick. The reason I didn't play ballista this turn was I want to be able to make him as big as possible. I'm hoping they don't play 2 spells this turn because I actually I have the 3/3 ballista right here thanks to the werewolf being flipped. 1, 2, 3. Bridge. Okay, so ballista is my new win condition. That's fine. Scratch that. Oh, they have EE on 2 still. Yeah, that was a punt. I should have attacked first, see if they blow up the EE, and then if they did, play Druid. Is that what you're talking about, Chris? Because that's what I just realized I should have done that. I should get a punt counter. Yeah, I should add that. Well, Ballista, Vizier, if I can untap with the voted Druid, I win. They are worrying to give themselves hexproof, which means let me think. If they give themselves hexproof, my only win condition is Noble Hierarch. But they have a Chalice on 1, so the only way I can get Noble is to Cord or Coco for him. Or her. Or let me know what the punt was. Okay, so they don't have hexproof, so I'm still in the clear. That EE on 2 is going to make this a bit painful. I'm almost locked out of this one. Chat's lagging? Okay. Yeah. There's no reason to show him the black mana, but right after I said that I don't have to show it to him, I fetch a basic swamp. And I know that there's only 2 Viscera Seer main board. So what will officially lock me out of this game is a EE on 1. Academy Ruins can also do that because they can rebuy the EE. Let's see. I think they're better off in the graveyard anyway. Can't attack. They're forced to blow up the EE. And then if I top deck a Coco, I might be able to win here. Inventor's Fair is really the card that puts me behind, because even if the reason I went for the Druid is without infinite mana, I can just stay at parity with them. They're getting 1 life a turn. I can only ping him for 1. Okay. EE on 2 again. So I need to draw as a Coco, and you need to get a couple Noble Hierarchs out of it. Anybody else see a way out of this? Yeah. Chalice on 4 would shut me out. Crucible of Worlds a little rough. Now they have a win condition. Chalice on 2. Okay. Shalai is okay here. If I somehow get infinite mana, she's a win condition with the Birds of Paradise. That's true. I was thinking in case I'm still assuming they're going to get hexproof. Well, my yield isn't working here. That's why I'm saying that Shalai was decent. Collected Company into Infinite Mana doesn't do it because it's Chalice on 2, so I really just need Collected Company into Double Noble Hierarch. Yep. Yeah, drawing the birds, the Noble here. No Fracturing Gust. No. I do have 3 Knight of the Reliquaries, though, which Welding Jar is kind of a pain in the ass to get through. It's really this Inventor's Fair, them gaining 1 life a turn. Okay, EE on 1, and I will concede opponent. Actually, I think I'm in Scoop City anyway, because they can just rebuy it. Yeah. Yes, Knight of Autumn. Let's check out the handy dandy sideboard guide. I take out the Infinite Life Plan. I bring in Knight of Autumn removal and Scoos. I need to worry about Pithing Needle and Sorcerer's Spyglass effects, which will hit my Devoted Druid and my Walking Ballista. Okay, so yeah, Infinite Life doesn't do much here. And I have a nice clean answer to their threats. Post board, they're going to be bringing in. Sorry, I'm moving all around all over the place here. Post board, they're going to be bringing in other ways to win, like Tezzeret. So just have to be wary of that. Not hitting in a Collected Company was kind of rough there. We had 36 cards left in the deck. We were 24 cards deep, and I don't think I saw a single company. So my game plan here is to Druid them out as fast as possible. When that doesn't work, Ballista them out in a fair way. And if that doesn't work, Noble Hierarch beatdowns. This is the secret MVP in here. Knight of Autumn is just extra removal, so I'll have 5 removal spells. With Eternal Witness, I can buy back a couple of them. I wouldn't even mind maybe like a Viscera Seer just so I could rebuy the Knight of Autumns, but that might be too cute. Fracturing Gust would be really good, although I don't think I think Fracturing Gust you can still regenerate from, right? And it's Welding Jar that's a real issue here. Oh, what do you guys think of the overlay? I'm pointing at it on my screen. The overlay with the, over here, Knight of Autumn, the Path to Exile, which is actually an activity box. So if activity things popped up, those words would be words up there. I'll be on the play with a hand that wins me the game if I draw a land. Keep. So I have a 20 out of 53 chance of drawing a land, but a mana dork also wins me the game just a turn later. So I have a 28 out of 53 chance of drawing something relevant. And against a slower deck, I think I can wait a little, maybe a turn or two. As long as I don't have a quick Pithing Needle, I think this hand is fine. Wow, better lucky, huh? I do have a weird feeling we're about to get Sorcerer's Spyglass. So this is the threat that I scooped to here. Yep, Sorcerer's Spyglass on Druid keeps me from winning the game right here. They might even just name Walking Ballista, to be honest. 1, 2, 3 available mana. I think I'm just going to progress my mana here. Yeah, they do need to name Druid. Just get as much mana as possible to make a big Walking Ballista and win in the fair way. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can get a 2/2 Ballista. Yeah, let's do that. And then I can start swinging with it as a 4/4. And next turn I can make it a 5/5 with the Exalted triggers. Here's a Sorcerer's Spyglass that's going to name Ballista. It's on 2. I think I'd rather keep the size over pinging them for 1 here. Grafdigger's Cage. Okay. Sure. The way last game went, we're not even going to draw a Collected Company. That card is really good, by the way. Bottled Cloister. It's like their Dark Confidant, but it also works really well with Bridge. So my options here, I'm definitely attacking. I can Knight of Autumn try to blow something up, which will just make them use the Welding Jar. I can pump up Walking Ballista for 1 more. I think I want a Knight of Autumn and attack. I'm just going to go for Spyglass, which will make them use the Welding Jar. Yeah. So now our opponent, now I need to top deck into another removal spell, another Knight of Autumn or Abrupt Decay or Trophy, and then I can blow up this Spyglass and win the game. Then we can go to game 3. This deck has felt the opponent's deck. I'm playing it a lot, playing against it a lot as Amulet Titan, and Amulet Titan, the white version, just can't beat it. The red version is better because they have a Braids instead of Path to Exiles, and a Braids are decent here, where Paths are not. And the Hive Mind version is decent against it because there's an extra win condition. But the white version just can't do much. Okay, so Bridge shuts down just the nobles. So Gavany Township's actually a pretty bad draw here, unless I want to try to swing in for a little bit more. Like I can get one cheeky attack in, attack with like all my druids and nobles, and get swing for 4 instead of just 2. I have an Eternal Witness anyway, so if they Sorcerer Spyglass the Ballista, then, which I think they will after looking at my hand and seeing the Eternal Witness, it's equal. I got 1 more damage out of it. If they name another Druid, then I can just rebuy the Ballista and play them again. Yep. So I was able to squeeze 1 more damage out there. Second bridge. So my best possible draw is a Knight of Autumn, which would hit the Sorcerer Spyglass, win me the game. I'll grab the Ballista because there's nothing else to really grab. A land doesn't do me much good here. Rebuy a Noble. Start punching in for 1. And then I believe I have lethal next turn, right? No, I can only swing for 3 here. Yeah, if I hadn't redrawn Ballista and saved the Eternal Witness for the Noble Hierarch there, that would have been a really good play. They have Welding Jar anyway, so I don't think I have too many outs left. The good news is that the Grafdigger's Cage is gone, so Collected Company's live again. I can Collected Company into a Knight of Autumn. I can Chord for a Knight of Autumn. True. Okay, so the opponent recognized that Gavany Township is a threat. Let's dig for some Noble Hierarchs here. And some Druid. Doesn't really matter. Yeah, if I had an extra Noble here, my opponent would be dead. Noble Smash! That's one way to kill our opponent. Okay, so they're going to engineered explosives, put it on 1, and then we are going to get locked out of this game pretty hard. And not anymore. And they're drawing an extra card each turn. Oh, I punted. Add that to the punt counter. I just punted. Opponent was dead. You were right, Chris. You were right. I should have just attacked, activate. Oh, I can't activate Gavany. Nope, nope, nope. Double punt. I can't activate Gavany, so they weren't dead anyway. So my outs now are Eternal Witness, rebuying a Noble Hierarch. I think I'm just gonna lose here. I'm trying to think of any out here. Torpor Orb is kind of mean. Assassin's Trophy. I need to draw exactly Assassin's Trophy into Decay, and even then, I think, yeah. Tezzeret can just kill me. Okay. Well, we fell. One of the best Magic players in the world took us off of our lovely quest of trying to 5-0. Oh, get out of here. Let's update that loss. Whir lost in 2. And on to the next one. We are currently 2-1. In this league, we beat Amulet Titan in 2. We turn 3'd them both games. We beat Green Black Rock in 3. 1 game 1, lost game 2, 1 game 3, and we just lost 2-2 against Zusurus on Whir. I'll play first. If this hand had a mana dork or a second land, preferably second land, but I can't keep this. I will keep this, however. I do get a scry, and I can scry to a land, or I can just play Seer. Yeah, that was a coin flip keep. I don't like coin flip keeps as much. Let's bottom that. I'm just going to pass. I know there's a Finks on bottom, which increases my chances of drawing a land. If I draw a land or a mana dork, I'll be pretty happy. If I don't, I'm going to be sad. Up against Amulet or Ad Nauseam. Either matchup, my life total doesn't matter a ton. Still need to draw a land to actually kill my opponent next turn with the cord. I can only cord for 1 with the current layup. It's 1, 2, 3, 4 mana. I need 5 mana to cord for 2. It is like the first hand, but I get a scry. And scrying, trying to dig 1 deeper for a land, I feel a little more comfortable about. And it was a fetch land instead of a basic forest. Oh. Well, we could just win. And this hand just wins turn 3, so I guess we have to keep it, right? Nitro Hawk. Nice to meet you, Nitro Hawk. Opponent. I will cord for 2. I will not mess up. Well, we've had good luck so far with opponents scooping when we represent lethal. Alright, I guess I have to click quickly here. So the whole combo to go through, if I'm just like in the zone, clicking as fast as possible, takes about 3 minutes. And that's if Ballista's on the bottom of the deck. So Amulet Titan again. Handy dandy sideboard guide. Take out Rally or Ewit, Scoos, Collected Company. So 2 Ewits, a Scoos, and a Collected Company. Bring in some removal and maybe a Knight of Autumn. The reason why we're bringing out Collected Company instead of Cord is because this is all about speed. This is not a deck we can outgrind. This deck can just pile on this deck can just start chaining prime times, and this deck, Abzan Company, cannot do a darn thing about it. So this is what I'm probably bringing in here. I don't actually like Shalai. I'm trying to think if there's anything in Amulet Titan which would make me want... I think I'd actually just prefer the Path over the Trophy. No, I'll keep the Trophy. It's a little bit more flexible. So we'll run this. Infinite Life beats them, unlike the last Amulet deck we played against, which Infinite Life does not beat. Because the last one we played against runs Hive Mind. This could be a Hive Mind version as well, but I didn't see Bloom. This is a keep. I got turn 1 Dork into a turn 2 Druid, and then I got 2 draws to hit a Vizier or a Cord. Sorry, 3 draws to hit a Vizier or a Cord, and if I do, I win the game. Yeah, Knights for Amulet. Knights also for Grafdigger's Cage, which most Amulet lists don't run. But it's also just for anything weird that might show up. I don't know if I mean, hitting Amulet does set them back. It slows them down from being able to combo you, which lets me race them a little bit better. But our opponent is kind of forced to mulligan into a hand that can beat Devoted Druid. So it looks like our opponent is on the white splash, which means that they probably run Path to Exile. I don't think any lists run Horizon Canopy without Path on this side. So next turn they can play a Horizon Canopy and then Path my Druid, and then we will just untap, play another Druid with extra land, and go from there. Knight of Autumn is actually kind of, and then we drew the cord, is kind of just one of my sideboard cards that I just bring in almost every match just because it's so flexible and there's so many different answers to this deck that are either an artifact or an enchantment. Grafdigger's Cage is a perfect one. Almost any deck can run it, but I need an answer for it. So I can hold up Path here. So if they try... I mean, there's nothing... They cannot drop a Titan this turn without some... No, they cannot drop a Titan this turn. So I don't have to worry about that. Yeah. Your deck's pretty sweet. And I liked... Chris, your deck's pretty sweet, and I liked when we shuffled the decks up. That was... I don't know what format that is, but that was pretty sweet as well. Mixing Amulet Titan and green-black, like a value town. Yep, that's the path. So normally I'd stop and say, do I want the land or do I want the Druid in my graveyard? But I have another Druid in my hand, so I will just let this happen. and get the white mana I need to play more cards. Okay, so we're set up now for the turn 4 win, and if our opponent kills Druid, we will just gain infinite life and win that way. Heartless Frenzy. Yeah, the deck is sweet. Oh, yeah, it's not green black yet. Red. It's more like a Jund. It's sweet. I like it a lot. And I love Obnixilis. You can see from my flare. I think he's actually one of the coolest characters in the MPG universe. So one of the reasons I actually like this deck a lot is that the way the meta I feel is shifting back to green-black rock, back with burn, with Amulet being a big presence. I think this deck is well positioned. There was a short period of time where it really wasn't, when Is It Phoenix was way overrepresented, and because Thing in the Ice just crushes this deck. You can go back on my YouTube channel and you can check out my match to make my win in for the top 8. And the matchup where my opponent cast 2 Thing in the Ice, I just could not win. So I'll just go ahead and path Gaddock Teague so I can win the game. Yep. Yeah, the Kaya deck was pretty sweet against those graveyard decks. Let's get Vizier. Let's play Finks. Let's put Ballista on top and then draw him off of the Duskwatch Recruiter. Actually, let's just see if the opponent just scoops the Duskwatch Recruiter. Okay. Sounds good. So this deck is heavily favored against Amulet, I feel. You can see that they were forced, they slowed down their ramp. They actually side out some ramp against my deck, against Abzan Company, so they can interact with Druid, and I just naturally had the second Druid. If I didn't, I still can just go into the secondary combo right here, which is a big reason why I think the Finks version is the best version of Company right now, because it utilizes Vizier twice. So Vizier isn't, oh, Druid's dead, Vizier's a dead card. No, no. You can go turn 1 Viscera Seer, turn 2 Devoted Druid, turn 3 play Vizier, and if they kill your Druid, then you say, okay, turn 4 Kitchen Finks, win. It really, really puts pressure on opponents having a lot of removal. Okay, so record right now, we are 3-1. Our only loss is to Susurrus. Let's update. We beat Amulet again. Amulet Titan, beat it real quick. So we're having some pretty good success with the list so far. Let's hope we get a really fun matchup in the next one. Okay, so we cannot 5-0 because we lost, but we can still 4-1, which is a very respectable record in a competitive league. I really got to pick where I want this camera because I keep moving around. Maybe like that. You can see Thanos right there. The Lord and Savior Thanos. Probably shouldn't say that. I'll get on some watch list. Good hand. So what I'm looking for in hands with this deck is I'm looking for mana dorks into something or a turn 2 druid. And beyond that, I just want the deck to draw into its normal cards. So turn 1 mana dork is a fantastic open. Especially since a lot of people still bolt the bird. Goblins! Playing against goblins, that is absolutely sweet. I approve of this goblinage. What do I want to do here? I think I want to go druid, bird, pass. Next turn have company, hopefully hit a vizier into Duskwatch Recruiter. The opponent has bolt on the druid, we could be in trouble. I am not blocking, I will absolutely take 2. I'll fetch a basic. We gain some life. Any order. Rebuy the company, so I have an extra chance at drawing into the win. And play a Duskwatch Recruiter as a blocker. I think we're pretty favored here because my deck is well positioned to fight against burn. And this is kind of like a burn deck. 3 Knight of Autumn's side with 4 Kitchen Finks main means we are going to have good company hits to gain some life. That is 7 cards that gain life. Plus we always have Scavenging Ooze. Sure, you can flip. Because I have the other one in my hand. Opponent's holding up 3 mana, which could represent a lot of different things here. Why? No, you lightning bolt the druid. Okay. We're 4-1 in a competitive league, and our opponent is not lightning bolting the druid. So I've been able to go very wide here, which is pretty sweet, because I don't think they run something like... I mean, if they run Earthquake, I'm just kind of dead here, right? That'd be sweet. Earthquake, I feel like, should be a modern playable card. Okay, we had the combo. We win. I think we won just off of the fair board state right there anyway. So... sideboard. Pull up the burn one. I don't think I have one for goblins. So I want to side out the combo. I bring in removal spells, but not Assassin's Trophy, because Assassin's Trophy is so bad against aggro. I don't know if I want Sin Collector. I'll think about it. Some Knight of Autumn and Skews. So siding this out, just right off the bat. Intrigued in Decay in my paths. I'm bringing all 3 Knight of Autumns in, and I'm probably bringing in this. Eidolon of Rhetoric is actually also interesting. If I can turn 2 Eidolon, they can't flood the board as quick. Cutting 3 Druid. I'll cut 3 Vizier. And maybe a Duskwatch. Yeah. Maybe something like this. I'm pretty heavy. I'm keeping the 2 Druids even though I don't have a combo with them. Because I want extra mana. Because I'm pretty heavy here. I like this. Would anybody in the chat have sided differently there? Let me know. I think the argument is I could maybe keep some combo pieces instead of Sin Collector, but Sin Collector hits Goblin Grenade and Lightning Bolt, which can slow me down considerably, or speed my opponent up considerably. Yeah. So I'm kind of turtling up here. That's kind of actually my whole game plan with this deck is game 1 just blazing speed. Everything is all about combo. And then games 2 and 3, I turtle up with Eternal Witness loops and Value Train. Because I am more proactive game 1, and I'm just generally faster against most of the format game 1. It's fragile, but it's very fast. And my opponent, even if they beat me game 1, is going to respect the combo for siding game 2 and 3. So they're going to bring in extra spot removal, extra disruption, which slows them down, which allows me to grind them out with 2-for-1s post board. I'll keep this. If I hit another land, I have a bunch of life gain and value here. Okay, take 1. I'm going to fetch a basic forest. Still hoping to dig a land. Okay. Must have just drawn that because it's probably their best turn 1. I could path my own creature. I'm actually kind of intrigued with that line. If they try bolting my creature, I think I'm gonna path it instead. I need 3 mana for my Finks loops. Okay. Sure. So do I path the Legion Loyalist so that creatures don't have first strike and trample? Yeah, I don't think the exalted damage is. I mean, maybe bird first, just in case they bolt it. I don't think they're gonna bolt the bird here. That was one of the reasons why I just played the noble. I don't think it mattered. I don't know if exalted is what's gonna win me this game. I think what's gonna win me this game is clogging the ground with these value creatures here. So if I don't do anything here, I'm gonna take 6 plus 5, 11, go to 6. And then play a Kitchen Finks next turn, which just probably isn't enough. I need to kill something. I think I need to kill this Denizen here. Although this Legion Loyalist giving their creatures first strike means my future blockers aren't as efficient. So I think I actually just need to straight up murder that here. I'll take a little bit bigger of a punch here, but now they don't have first strike and trample in future turns. Take 9. Yep. Exalted's super relevant in matchups where my opponent doesn't have a board or anything like that. Even my 3/2 Kitchen Finks is generally way bigger than anything my opponent's going to play here. My 4/3 Knight of Autumn, I'm probably just getting the 4 life, to be honest. Okay, so they might be bushwhacking me this turn. I think I'm dead. Yeah. Super dead. Okay. I don't think I do anything differently, except maybe I don't want Sin Collector. I think I might actually want the Court of Callings back. My opponent didn't actually have that much removal. We'll go like this. No land. Turn 1 Dork. I can't even, I don't even get the Scry because they're all fetched lands. Scavenging Ooze is not as good in this matchup. This is rough. And this is how you lose to goblins. It's a fair deck, but I think my deck is much better than goblins. I think I'm favored here. But when you mull to 4, it's going to be kind of rough. Yep. Come on, Goblin Guide, hit me a land. Basic Forest would be sweet, so then I can path something, play Eternal Witness, buy back the path. Basic Plains is the same thing. I have a path on top, okay. Opponent's got 4 cards in hand. I think I need to get rid of this Foundry Street Denizen over the Legion Loyalist. Simeon's Spirit Guide means I'm getting bushwhackered. I think I'm just dead here. One, two, I'll just wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 11. I'll be at 1 life. I don't think I can afford to block. I think I just need to accept being at 1 life. Yeah, this is mulligan to 4. I don't really know what else I can do here. Yeah. Good game. Well, 3-2. 3-2 in a league with Abzan Company. Let me update my sheet. Let me know if I was actually thinking of doing a double feature here, a league with another deck. I was thinking Amulet Titan. Let me know what you guys want. Type in the chat, and I will look. path myself. Is that Ron? Hey, Ron. I played Black Green Rock in one of these open queues, and I played against Cheerios. I had 3 removal spells game 1, and my opponent won. It doesn't make sense to me. I know one was Swan Song, and the other 2 they just had 3 creatures. And then game 2 I had to multi 4, and kind of like what just happened here, you can't do anything on a multi 4. More Abzan Company, it's 1 vote. What's everyone else want? I will be back in 90 seconds, and I'll read all the chats then. Did we lose anyone? I don't know what I'm playing in the Invitational Qualifier. I don't know yet. It's either Amulet or Coco. So what I was planning on was kind of getting a feel for just playing both, and I was thinking, I was like, oh, I could play both and see which one feels better. I gotta say, Abzan Company felt pretty good there. The loss, I'm not expecting to play against. I'm not playing against Usurus at the Invitational Qualifiers, so I don't have to worry about losing to Whir. And that Goblins deck was just some bad beats. So the Titan, okay. Yeah, you know what? I'm feeling the Titan. Let's see how bad I am with Amulet Titan. How's Titan versus Titan? I've actually never played the Titan Mirror.